the voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
WHPC HD Garden City.
Available on the iHeartRadio app.
.3 WHPC. I forgot this starts slow. Anyway, welcome to From the Press Box, right here on this Monday, September 11th, 2017. And a lot of things going on today. Moved over by the courthouse when I picked Timmy up. And police are all over the place. Memorializing, of course, what happened 16 years ago today. Still a shocking thing. And that's just the way it is. Still, it doesn't go away, and it really shouldn't. Anyway, I'm Rob Leonard. Joining me, of course, is Tim Leonard, as we talk sports every Monday, now 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. And we're going to talk football today, even though, let's be honest, there wasn't a lot to talk about.
No, not the best opener to the season.
No, and you know what I was looking forward to saying, Tim?
What were you looking forward to saying, besides good morning to me?
Well, I said that to you, right? I was looking forward to saying that the Jets were in first place.
Wow, you're a real optimist.
Because the Patriots lost on Thursday to the Chiefs.
How awesome was that?
That was beautiful. Beautiful. And I was like, wow. That was beautiful. I said, the Jets can be in first place technically on Sunday.
Yes.
And, of course, what do? They screw it up as always.
True. The Facebook Live people would like you to sit down, brother, because only half your head is in the frame.
Well, why you hold the thing up as I speak?
Because you need to sit down.
But I want to stand. It's easier to stand sometimes.
Great.
How's that?
Hey, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah. So, anyway, it was a chance for the Jets to prove something, and they didn't.
They didn't step up.
Well, you make fun of me, and I'm trying not to say it, and then what do? You say it. So who's the bad person now, jerk?
Nice.
Brother.
Nice.
Anyway, let's start talking football. We should say that Dan DeRosalia will be talking tennis with us in about 15 minutes. He is an independent observer of the tennis game, and he's a tennis expert. He knows everything about tennis. And we're going to talk about the fact that the U.S. Open just finished up over at Flushing Meadows.
Rafael Nadal won the men's title for the third time, and Sloane Stephens, unranked Sloane Stephens, took the women's title. And as I saw when they were giving her doing the trophy presentation after the game, was very happy with the $3.7 million check that she got.
Well, if someone gave you a $3.7 million check and you were ranked 984 or whatever she was.
Just a few months ago. That was because of an injury, though. She's much better than that. But it was the funniest part of that was I think she was asking the woman from the bank, like, how do I cash this?
How do you do? That is true. How do you?
What do I do with this? It's a really big check.
Well, it's not just the size of the check; it's the size of the check. Anyway, let's talk football.
Yes.
The Jets lost. The Giants lost.
Hey, what a weekend.
What a great weekend for New York football fans. I was surprised the Cowboys didn't destroy the Giants more. I mean, they beat them 19-3, but I expected, if they're going to beat them 19-3, I expected 28-3. And it didn't really happen.
Why?
I don't know.
What's the difference with 9 points?
Because if you're only going to get 3 points, that means you're not playing good.
Well, the whole point of what happened with the Giants against the Cowboys was that the offense wasn't on the field enough. The offense, Giants coach Ben McAdoo, I always have to remember not to call him Ben and not Bob, but he said no part of the offense functioned at all. And he was 100% correct. But that's on him.
Right.
He's an offensive coach. The reason he was hired was because he was supposed to be this offensive genius. The Giants were supposed to go to this run and shoot offense, this whole pass happy attack. And what happened? Nothing. Shane Vereen led the Giants in receptions yesterday, a running back. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was like 9 catches for 51 yards. That's garbage.
That's nothing.
That's checkdowns. That means nobody's open, and it means that Shane Vereen did not break a single reception.
Nope.
All right. Brandon Marshall was targeted only 4 times and caught his only pass of the game on the second to last play of the game, which means that he was invisible for the entire game. And this is without Odell Beckham Jr. being able to play because of his ankle injury.
Right.
He tested the ankle before the game. They decided, you know what? He can't cut on it without it hurting. They don't want to aggravate it and have him play one game and then have to still feel the effects of this thing for the next 4 or 5. So I thought that was a good move in terms of, all right, let this guy get healthy and be able to play like Odell Beckham can, as opposed to 70 or 80%. And he's worried about the ankle and what happens if he hurts it again and aggravates it and makes it worse. So I didn't understand why Marshall didn't see the ball more. Because he was the big offseason acquisition. It was supposed to be, Marshall was supposed to be the complement to Beckham and was supposed to make the Giants offense that much more dangerous. Well, if you don't throw to the guy, and especially when he's supposed to be your main target that day because Beckham's out, I don't know what the Giants were thinking. I don't know what they were doing. The ground game was completely ineffective. The line was a disaster.
They looked sloppy out there.
They were. And you could tell with Marshall and Eli that they're still very much lacking in terms of timing and all of this stuff that you're supposed to get down in the preseason.
Right.
It's not there. I thought Eli was incredibly sloppy yesterday, just based on he was being pressured. There's no mistaking that. But even the times where he stepped up in the pocket and bought himself some time and had the time and space to make a decent throw, his throws were way off yesterday, several times. And the Giants way too many 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
They didn't look like a team that people think are going to be a Super Bowl contender. They didn't even look close to that yesterday.
And people are expecting them to be a very good team this year.
Yeah. And Dallas, you have to say, is the team to beat.
Right.
So
Dak Prescott played pretty damn good.
Yeah, he did. He played very well. He played the kind of game you expect Dak Prescott to play, in that he controlled the ball. He's not turning it over. He's still a kid, but he doesn't throw interceptions. And the Giants yesterday really, I think they needed their defense to make a play to try to turn the game around and really boost the offense. And that play never came because of Dak Prescott and because also Ezekiel Elliot was able to play in the game. He wound up getting an injunction that temporarily halted his suspension for domestic violence. And wound up playing in the game and rushed for 104 yards. So his presence clearly had an impact in the game. He might wind up, in fact, they're having another hearing today. Elliott might be suspended again starting today, later today, because they're having that whole legal process is going to happen. So I don't even know how he winds up playing, but that's the court system.
The question about that is was there any court case in the actual courts, not in the NFL courts, but in the actual courts where she brought up?
That's
that happens, and I know that, and that's what I think he's going to use to say, well, hey, this didn't happen.
But it did happen.
It did happen, but it didn't happen.
Elliott's girl. First of all, there was supposedly a domestic violence incident against the former girlfriend back in Columbus, Ohio, when Elliott was playing for Ohio State.
Right.
And that incident, first of all, the girlfriend she's been most of this time now saying, look, I don't want to go after this. He didn't do anything. It's to use the trendy term, it's a witch hunt. But there is video of Elliott tearing off a woman's shirt at some kind of party or concert or whatever, that happened. We saw it.
Right.
So it wasn't just for the one incident that the NFL suspended him. It was for a multitude of incidents.
Sure.
And it was.
But what do you mean? If the college stuff, you mean?
Well, the incident with the girl at the concert, the party or whatever, that happened last year. He was a Cowboy at that point.
Okay.
So essentially, I think the NFL was saying to him, look, don't be a moron, and you need to stop doing whatever you're doing and maybe have a little more respect for women or whatever you're going to do. Stop being, I can't say the word on the radio, but yeah.
I know
So I think they were trying to send a message to him. I still thought 6 games was a little extreme, considering there was no court case involved and there was no legal charges.
And I have a feeling that that's going to be the future of trying to stop these suspensions. Is that the players are going to say, "Well, hey, my girlfriend or the girl didn't sue anything, so I'm innocent." Now, mind you, there's video on certain players. We know that, but I think that's going to be the thing, and I think that's going to be, as much as the NFL, it's easier to say, "Well, we're going to suspend you." The players are going to say, "Well, he just can't suspend me for being a jerk."
But they can.
I know they can.
They can. That's the power of the commissioner.
I know that. But that's why you're going to see court cases.
Yeah, you're going to see lawsuits, and you're going to see injunctions, and you're going to see players trying to get around that rule. And I don't blame Elliot for doing what he did. I think any player would do the same thing. But obviously, this worked out to the detriment of the Giants,
right?
Because the Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliott are obviously not as good a team as they are with him.
Well, I also one thing I do want to bring up about the NFL, they were smart enough to cancel the games in Florida during the hurricane that's currently going
Still
through.
going on, yeah.
So at least they didn't think twice about that one. It's like, well, gee whiz, what about our TV? They sometimes think too long, And
they just moved the game to a bye week, so
right. That's all.
I don't think either team was happy about it. Because who wants a bye week in week 1? But that's one of the reasons why the bye week is there, is that if some kind of emergency happens, there is a mechanism in the schedule where you can say, all right, here's a week.
Well, there's also a bye week to give the TV networks an extra week.
Well, yeah, of course. So I mean, let's we're talking about with the Giants. Again, Eli not good. Beckham doesn't play. Brandon Marshall it makes you wonder why they signed him if they weren't going to use him. The defense was just on the field for far too long. Here's some stats for you from the first half. All right, the Cowboys outgained the Giants' total yards 265 to 49.
Wow.
First downs was 16-2. 2 first downs in an entire half of football for the Giants.
You can't live that way.
No, and in total plays, the Cowboys 47 plays on offense was a large number of plays. The Giants 19, and that's and the defense played well. You have to give the defense credit for playing well, but when a defense is on the field that long, players are getting tired. First of all, and if the offense comes back out and goes 3 and out, well, all right, the defense barely gets a chance to catch its breath, and they're back on the field. So you can't have numbers like this that are so lopsided, and the fact that it was still a fairly close game at halftime, like I said, is a credit to the defense. You can't sit there and criticize the Giants' defense in any way yesterday, because the offense never gave them a chance to really participate in the game. They were just out. They were out there too much. Maybe participate is the wrong word, but the offense didn't allow the defense to play as effectively as it could, because they were just on the field the whole game.
Yeah. And one thing, just thinking about this, and this is a silly thing, but I was just thinking about this. If the players are now, they're all 300 pounds now.
Well, not all of them.
Well,
but
the defense players.
The line players.
Now,
for the most part.
Let's say these guys were 275.
Some of them are. It depends on the guy.
Would they not need all that rest in between? It's just something to think about.
You're making plays. You're going hard. Yeah, I mean, you need time to recover and to catch your breath and to get your wind back and you're going back and forth, and guys are beating on you. Yes, you need. It doesn't matter. The cornerbacks need rest.
Right.
They weigh 200 pounds or 220.
They're sprinting down the field.
Some of these guys, the corners are like 5'10", and they weigh about 200 pounds.
Right.
Those guys need the rest too.
Okay.
So yes,
okay.
You can't
just checking, my brother.
You
just
can't.
checking.
But especially with an offense like the Cowboys, where Prescott has so many weapons, he's either giving the ball to Elliott,